About 10 years ago, I wound up in the same room with Ron Simmons, and we talked about college football for an hour, nonstop. So I assume that that's what you guys hit it off about too, your love of football, right?
Absolutely. We can talk football all day. One of the reasons, one thing at Winston-Salem, one thing we're doing was talking football most of the time. It's one of the reasons I enjoy being around Ron. We have so much to talk about, and we love football. We love what's going on with the game. We love watching the game from as two linemen would watch it, which is completely different from how other people watch it, because you're watching the middle three guys on the field to see who's dictating control. It's a fun way to watch it, and that's where we played, and so we enjoy talking football from that perspective.
Let's talk a little bit about how the APA came to be. You mentioned it came together on your birthday. What's the story there?
Well, it came together on my birthday. The APA came together on my birthday. We were in Philadelphia, and it was my birthday, just like it happened a few days ago. And again, I don't celebrate that stuff. I don't even tell people it's my birthday. Well, I'm riding with Teddy Long, Godfather, and Ron Simmons, as usual. And Godfather says, "Hey, hit some of this smiz with me." And I said, "I don't smiz." He goes, "It's your birthday." And I said, "You're right. Whatever you want to give me, I'll take." So from that point forward, there were a lot of things I took, a lot of things that I took. So we get down to Baltimore. And the one thing you don't want to do is go to the TV hotel, because there's too many stooges. You're going to get stooged if you go to the TV hotel and you've had too much to drink or whatever. And I'd had too much, all of the above, whatever drink, you name it. So I get to the TV hotel because it's my birthday and I'm bored and I don't want to go to bed yet. And in walks Shane and Vince. And I'm sitting there and I'm blind. I can barely even see. And I look up, Shane, and Vince says, "It's your birthday?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, you better drink." So they start pouring tequila and whiskey, all this stuff down me. Ron had already gone back to the hotel. We're at the Red Roof at Baltimore. And I come in, stumbling in. He goes, "How'd you get back?" I said, "Vince loaded me in his car." And, he sent a limo to take me back to the Red Roof, which is probably the first time that Red Roof had ever seen a limo. And I said, unless it was a drug dealer. And so I stumble in, and Ron goes, "I think we're fired." And so the next day, I get a call from Vince in the building. Not a call, but somebody came in and said, "Vince wants to see you." And I said, "Shit, I'm in trouble." And I walk in. I thought, I did it. I'm just going to say I did it, and whatever happens, happens. Shouldn't have been at the TV hotel and under the influence. And I walk in, and he goes, "You look terrible." I said, "I'm lucky to be alive." I said, "I feel worse." And he goes, "I'm going to put that on television." I said, "What?" He said, "I'm going to put that on television." I said, "Put what on television?" He said, "You and Ron sitting around drinking, banter. That's what men do. That's what men do. I love it. That's what we're going to do." So I walk out and I walk into Ron, and Ron goes, "What happened?" I said, "Vince wants us to drink on television." Ron said, "Best idea I've ever heard." And so that's how pretty much the APA started. Vince came up with the whole APA idea. And he wanted me and Ron to do like we had done every single night of the loop, go out and have beers and banter and have fun.
Man, how fun is that?
Yeah, he literally put us on TV to do what he had seen us do.
I love that. Of course, you guys were put together before that. This is back when you were just the regular acolytes before you became the APA. And I think originally, I even kind of forgot this, but I think in my notes, you were originally with the Jackyl, Don Callis, before it. I totally forgot about that. What can you tell us about the Jackyl and Don Callis and that whole piece of business?
Only a few weeks. I don't remember it was a few weeks. I don't remember it was a few months. It wasn't a very long time. There wasn't a good fit. And I don't want to bash Don. I always called him Jackyl. He seemed like a good guy then, and he's had a good career since. But it wasn't a good fit. Ron could talk. Ron's one of the best talkers in the history of the business. You look at some of the promos he cut in ECW, the promos he cut in WCW, the promos he cut in WWE. Ron could freaking talk. And I didn't think we needed a mouthpiece. Russo did not want me to talk because Russo did not like Southern accents. He thought, people sounded stupid if they had a Southern accent. So Russo actually at one point sent me to Ed Ferrara, who tried to teach me how to talk without an accent. I talk slower. I talk with a deeper voice. And finally I said, what the hell with this? I'm just going to get fired over there. You had Stone Cold and JR out there, you're trying to teach me to talk without a Southern accent. So maybe that was part of it that, Russo didn't want me to talk. And I guess maybe he liked Don Callis, but they stuck Jackyl with us and it just wasn't a good fit. I didn't think we needed a mouthpiece. Ron, I don't think did either. I don't want to speak for him, but I know what the sentiment was back then. And we had a little bit of heat. We talked to Jackyl and told him, when you're out there doing promos, put over your tag team, because we're the one that's either going to draw money or not draw money. You're not. You've got to get us over. And in hindsight, I think somebody was probably in his ear telling him what to say. I don't think he'd go into business for himself. But he didn't change, and he kept putting himself over. And we finally told him, said, listen, we keep telling you, you got to talk about us. You got to talk about us, about what we're doing, not about yourself. And he did it again. And Matt Hardy, I've heard him tell a story, and I remember it only slightly different from Matt. And Matt may be right about this. The outcome is all the same. It's just how it got set up. Matt had a toothpick in his mouth and it said something about dying. I knew there was heat there. And so I don't know if Matt had kind of intimated about it or if I brought it up. Anyway, I asked him to break the toothpick off in Callis's lock in his car, just as a lesson to, we've warned you, we've warned you, we've warned you. Now it's, we're going to warn you a little more stronger. Well, that I didn't see Vince walk out, but Vince walked out later, and the toothpick had been broken off the lock, and Callis, I think, was trying to climb in from the back or something. Again, I wasn't there. I'm being told by people that were with Vince. But anyway, he had some problems getting into his car because of, what we had asked Matt to do. And Vince said, "What's up with that?" And the guy with him, who you know very well, said, "He's got heat with Ron and John." And Vince goes, "Get rid of him." And so that was the end of it from that point forward. So, they took him away from us, and it was a very short-lived venture.
Wow. Well, now I feel like we just got to the bottom of it, because I feel like that's been one of the internet's big mysteries for a long time is why didn't it work out with him? Because it did feel like he had success on the independents. He certainly enjoyed success in CW and now in AEW. It's always been kind of a big mystery. Why didn't he do more in WWE? And that was it.
And Callis can talk. He's good. He's good at what he does, and he's had a great career. You see that. It didn't fit with us. And in hindsight, I think somebody was in his ear. I think it was probably Russo. I don't know that. I don't know any of that. But that's what it certainly appeared like, because when he went out there, he would do exactly opposite of what we asked him. We said, listen, you can't just go out there and talk about how you're the greatest. You got to put us over, because we're the ones that are going to draw money or not. Ellering did that. The Grand Wizard did. Everybody did that. And it just kept being the same one after another. And so I think somebody was probably in his ear.